Biography video part 3 is all about marriage and work. Childhood and school years are over, and now a person becomes an adult, and this period is called adulthood. The American variant for the word adult is adult. Let's go back to our story. Jane got her first job with a big IT company in London. It was really hard. She had a lot of work. So what is the difference between the words job and work? Job is a position or vacancy, and work is the amount, process, task. It is actually what you do. Let's look at some phrases with the words job and work. We usually look for a job, get a job, or find a job. And we do work or have some work. Some phrases with the word work. We go to work, start and finish work. And we say at work with the preposition at. But we say in my first job, in my second job. For example, I worked hard in my first job. Repeat after me. My first job was with a big company. I started to work for a big company. I started to work for a big company as an accountant. With the word job, we usually use the preposition with, and it's more common to say to work for a company. When you want to say in what capacity, in what position you worked, you use the preposition as. I started to work for a big company as an accountant, for example. Jane quit her first job after 3 years and found a new one. When you stop working for some company, it's either your decision or your managers ask you to go. If it's your decision, you can say, stop working for a company, or I left the company, or I resigned from the company. So you just quit this job. But when your managers ask you to go, there are different phrases. You're fired or you're sacked. When somebody is made redundant, it means that the company doesn't need this position anymore. Soon after that, Jane met Fred and they got married. But what about personal life? You meet someone and you start dating or going out with this person, and in the end you marry this person. Repeat after me. Jane married Fred. Jane was married to Fred. Jane got married to Fred. Jane and Fred got married. Jane and Fred are married. When we use the verb marry without the verb to be, we don't need any prepositions. You just say who married whom. For example, Jane married Fred. But to be married or to get married requires the preposition to. You need to say Jane was married to Fred. Jane got married to Fred. Sometimes it's not important to say who married whom, but you just want to show that the two people are married as a fact. And you say Jane and Fred are married or Jane and Fred got married. What is the difference between get married and to be married? Got indicates the starting point, and to be married is just about the fact, the state. Unfortunately, a lot of people cannot live together for a long time, and after some time they separate. Legal separation is called a divorce. Repeat after me. They divorced 5 years ago. She divorced him. They split up. Split up is a more colloquial, a more everyday phrase, and divorce is a more serious word. So, according to their marital status, people can be single, married, or divorced. But Jane never divorced Fred. Jane and Fred had 2 children and lived happily for 25 years.